Hey everybody, it's Just My Opinion Bob, and today is November 22nd, 2025. It's the anniversary of the JFK assassination. It's funny, I didn't see anything on Google or Facebook. Usually I get this stuff that'll pop up. I mean, such a terrible day in the nation. I don't know. I'm sure a lot of you that watch me are my age and you were there and remember that time period, and it was tough. It was a sad day, but I'm just surprised don't see anything about it. I got a lot of things today. Not a lot of things, but I got some things. I got some guitar news. Let me see. I made a couple of notes here. In the past video, I try and date my videos as much as I can. I try and remember and do that because, like I've said, when I say one thing on a certain day, it might not hold true for another day, whatever. Quite a few videos back, or several back, I mentioned I was working with Polaris for Music, Jason G, who runs P4M and Bad Cat and all that. I am no longer affiliated with him. We had a parting of the ways, so I'll just leave it at that. I think all of you know me well enough. It wasn't on my end, so we just had a little disagreement, a different point of view. So with that said, I'm not associated with him anymore, although I've done business with him and I bought guitars. I just bought this latest one from him. So he's announced recently, unless Jason is one of the biggest sellers on Facebook now, of guitar copies. I guess that's what you call them. Yeah, plus his own guitars. He's also selling his own guitars under the Bad Cat name, which is basically the improved copies, only he's putting his name on the headstock, which is Bad Cat. He's also using Chill Cat too. So, but anyhow, all right, the idea is that he has, for sales in the U.S., he has a warehouse here. And I think he's mentioned on his site now, he is no longer going to be selling the copies. So I'm sure Fender and Gibson and Martin will be glad to hear that. Although there's a lot of factories over there doing this stuff, but he is no longer going to be handling them. It's definite for the U.S. market. I'm not sure about his worldwide market. So you can go on Facebook and look this guy up. He's on all these things, Jason's Music Club, and all. He's got 100 different pages on there. He's easy to find if you're interested. On that note, that's about the only guitar update as far as guitar news I have, except sales are still very, very tough. Guitars are just not selling. I did a video. If you watched my last video, today's the 22nd. My last video was on the 11th, and it was titled Firefly, Fender, P4M, and Chinese Guitars was the title of it. And in that video, I had 4 guitars. I had a Martin copy without a Martin name on it. I had a Martin D40. There were 3 of them were D45 copies. And I had a Martin D45 copy. I had a Firefly, which is based on the D45 style. 3 of them were all very similar. And then I had a Fender, all solid wood. The other guitars were solid top, laminated back and sides. As I've mentioned in previous videos, my guitar collection, I have 20 in my collection. When something comes in, something has to go. I have to keep it at 20. That's the agreement I made with my wife. I have since then started disposing of my guitars. I am currently down to 9. Whoops, make that 10. This just came today. I have 10 guitars in the house now. And what I do now, just like those last 4 I reviewed, 4 guitars came in and 4 guitars were listed for sale. I just enjoy reviewing them now, seeing what's what, showing you what's what, and then just sending them on their way. So when I listed those guitars, solid top, laminated back and side, I listed them just for what? No, I didn't. I listed them for $20 more than what I paid for them. That's what I listed them for. And some people might say, what? You bought it, it's used, you play it, and you listed it for more. Yeah, I did. Yeah, because they're Chinese guitars. They're coming from China. And maybe you've had better experiences, but I can tell you from my experience, you never know. It's like a box of Cracker Jacks. You never know what you're going to get when you open that box. It could be the dream guitar for you, or it could be a nightmare. It's how it is. So yeah, you're coming over here, and I'm not shipping these out. I don't sell anything online. You're coming over to my house, and you're going to pick up the guitar. You're going to look at it, see if there's any imperfections. You're going to make sure it sounds the way you want it, make sure it plays the way you want it. You see everything. And for that, yeah, I'm charging $20. Pretty good. If you pay a little more, I might give you a cup of coffee and a cannoli. But if you're just going to come play the guitar, it's $20. So that's what I'm doing. So when you see me with these guitars, that's all I'm doing with them. Excuse me. As I said, I don't edit. Speaking of Chinese guitars, let's not say Chinese guitars. Let's just say guitars. Unless you've been living under a rock and have not been watching YouTube, if you want the best there is, if you want the last guitar, if you want the best you can buy for your money, and the best quality guitar, right now it's from a Chinese shop in China, and it's spelled Hsien as in Nancy, M as in Mary, O. And it's pronounced, because they don't pronounce the Giamo. That's the pronunciation the best Bob can do it anyways. But anyways, these guitars, I dare you to find me a review where somebody says something negative about it, because I can't find one. They are the best of the best, and that's what anybody that knows guitars and knows quality, that's what you're going with. If you don't want to go with one of those, then settle for a Martin, settle for a Gibson, settle for a Guild. A Guild's a good guitar. Settle for an Eastman. Settle for a Collins. There's a lot of good guitars, but none of them are as good as this Shihimo, because that's what everybody wants. Yet there's a little bit of a wait. It's a small shop. They don't turn it out. It's not a production line. And with that said, those are the great guitars. All right. Now, my opinion, Bob, is here for the also-rans. I'm here for the other stuff. And today I'm going to review this guitar I got. And I have another guitar coming this week. And then I'll compare the two of them together. And then I have two electric guitars coming. I haven't done an electric guitar in a long time. So I've got two electric guitars coming. And I'll be reviewing those. But what we have here today is, this is an Arton guitar. All right? I don't have to take the masking tape off. You know what I got here. And this is a D45 style. It's got the 301, the Fishman pickup system in it, which most of them all do. This is done on a D45 style. So you have the abalone inlays, abalone trim all around, bone nut, bone saddle. You have the knockoff Grovers in the back. Nice binding. You have the dots are all centered right, how they should be over the frets. For my friend Dale, I got to tell you, these frets are going all the way. They're past the fretboard and they're onto the binding, so we're good there. The action is superb, plays nice. What's different about this and why I got this is the top. This is a cedar top. Now, anybody that knows Martin guitars, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Martin doesn't make guitars with a cedar top. They don't make a D45 with a cedar top, that's for sure. So you want to say there's a copy? Okay. How can it be a copy if they don't even make one? But we'll go with it. There's going to be the haters. So it's laminated, rosewood, back and sides, laminated, solid cedar top. I didn't measure it, but it's a standard, pretty standard thickness. It's not extra thin, not extra heavy. Criticism on the bridges in the past, a lot of criticism was if you got a real guitar, supposedly people don't consider these real guitars, but a real one, this would be smooth and polished. And of course, the builders listen to every single criticism you give them, so now they are smooth and polished. They do a nice job. This is a nice guitar. I give you people a lot of credit, and I give these reviewers a lot of credit that can tell the difference between the different tone woods, the solid top compared to all solid, and blah, 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 blah. I can't. And maybe it's because I'm playing the also-rans, all right? This sounds just like my Dove, my Alvarez, my Yamaha, whatever. The only thing that's different is maybe volume. This This seems to be quite a bit louder. And it shouldn't be because it's a cedar top. And you know, I had one of these before and I let it go out the door. And I'm ashamed to say why. I'm not, unless somebody asks me in the comments, because I'm ashamed to tell you why I let it go. But the reason I let it, I will tell you, the reason I let it go, and I'm ashamed of this, all right? If I'm buying a copy, well, it better be a copy. And that one wasn't. It didn't have the markings inside or anything. It just had it on the headstock. And people would say, what the heck? The guy that bought it from me said, I don't care. As long as it says that on the headstock, I'm fine with it. So everybody's different. But again, I just bought this, and this will be going out the door. Well, wait a minute. I can't say that because I've just tuned it up and played a little bit. I don't know. Bob might be hanging on. This might be number 10. I might hang on to this. I'm kind of impressed with it. If you saw the last video, it's as good as that. And there's another Firefly coming. It'll be here next week, and I'll review that with this. But anyways, this is what this sounds like. If you can tell how good it sounds, good for you. But it's got a nice sustain, nice sound, big sound to it too. Old friends, yeah. Oh, you're either gonna miss me when I'm gone. Say, no, you're either gonna miss me when I'm gone. You're gonna miss your daddy from living in here. Yeah, nice. Gotta tell you, something like this. And this is the last one, by the way, that I bought. The last one they had in stock, and I bought this from P4M. All in with tax, shipping, the whole 9 yards. I have $400. Let's say you're going to pay $400 for it. Where are you going to get any? I'm looking at prices online. That last batch of guitars I just had on the 11th, I listed them for sale. Of course, the very first thing that sold one day was that Martin copy. 3 days later, the Firefly sells. Now, these are, you know, $20 over what I paid for them, so everybody got a good deal. And I'm left with the Fender, all solid wood, and that had a hard shell case, and it was brand spanking new. Got the warranty and everything. All the case candy, beautiful guitar, beautiful sounding guitar. It sells for $1,000 on Guitar Center. And then you add tax, you're talking about $1,100. I sold that for $40, no, $20 over what I paid for it. And I got hardly any hits on it. And it just sold today. Had a nice gentleman come down from Virginia. He's down here vacationing, saw the ad on Craigslist. And I never sell anything on Craigslist, but he happened to see it. He come over, he got it. And he got himself a heck of a nice guitar. All solid wood, just gorgeous. It was the Fender California Vintage King Series, which is all solid. Beautiful guitar. Nice sound, fast action, thinnest neck I've ever seen on a guitar. But it's hard to sell real guitars. Everybody wants the phony baloney stuff, and I don't know why, but that's how it is. But I have to tell you, this is pretty impressive. You know, I know there's a lot of haters out there, and I'm not telling you this sounds like a Martin D4. You know me better than that. I tell you, it looks nice. All the abalone, workmanship, the fit, the finish, everything's incredible. Nobody's fooling anybody with this thing. It's not a real one. It's just a copy, but it's a nice guitar. It's as good as anything else probably that I have. Well, I'm talking about the middle of the road guitars, just your average. Yeah, it's as good as any solid top laminated back and side guitar I have. My all solids are better, but this is great. This is great for $400. Yeah, and if you think you can get them cheaper, get them. But it's a box of Cracker Jacks. It's got to be from. I had a hunt for this because these are not all the same. You've got to find the right one, and there's nothing worse than getting disappointed or buying something and say, boy, that Bob, he must have his head up his butt because this thing stinks. Well, maybe you didn't get the one I got. I don't know. But if you're ever down in Myrtle's Inlet by Myrtle Beach and you're interested in the guitar, look me up because it seems like lately that's how a lot of people have been finding me. I just had lunch with Tony L. and his wife a couple of weeks back, and another guy had discovered me from YouTube. And maybe David, the guy that came back today, maybe he'd be interested in getting together when he comes down. He comes back and forth from Virginia. So I just wanted to show you this. And if you're thinking about getting one, the cedar top is a nice variation. But I expected this to be so mellow. The last cedar one, I've had a couple cedars, and I'm not that thrilled with them. I like the spruce. But this one, pretty good. Pretty good. So I think that's all I wanted to say. Is it? Yeah, and I told you I got 3 more guitars coming, so I'll be showing you another video shortly on that, okay? So I guess I'll talk to y'all later and have yourself a nice Thanksgiving, okay?